Today I'm making chocolate butter mints, which are a perfect simple Valentine's Day treat. We're starting with 1 cup of softened butter, and you can replace part of that with coconut oil if you want to get multiple healthy fats into this dessert. Or you can just stick with old butter for classic flavor. And obviously you can use grass-fed butter. I think that's preferable, but I just buy the I can't really call it the cheap stuff because butter is expensive no matter what you buy, but the cheaper stuff. And then I'm going to turn this on to start to soften it up a little bit more. I'm adding 1/4 cup of honey. I'll wait to mix that till I have all the ingredients in. Be a little easier to hear me then on the video. So the honey and a pinch of sea salt, of course, my favorite pink Himalayan sea salt. And 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. This part is optional. You can just make them butter mints instead of chocolate butter mints. But if you can add chocolate, why not? This is raw cocoa powder, and I'm kind of making those heaping tablespoons because, again, it's chocolate. Why not? And then I'm going to add peppermint oil. Now, there is a lot of debate right now on different peppermint oils. The one that I'm using is Young Living, and I'm going to be kind of controversial and say that I have not done enough research to definitively say that this is the only oil that's safe to take internally. But I can say that this oil is safe to take internally and that there are a lot of oils out there that aren't. So if you're not using Young Living oil, please make sure that you're doing your research and that you can be completely confident, because there are a lot of oil companies that are diluting their oils and using chemicals to extract the oils, and it's really just not safe to use at all. Because I'm using a Young Living oil, I'm only going to use about 6 drops of oil in this. Now, if you had a less potent oil, or if you wanted more of a peppermint patty type effect, you'd need a few more drops. This makes it a nice, mild mint. Minty, but not pow. And now I'm going to turn this on and mix it for just a few minutes. Alright, I've already had to turn off the mixer and scrape down the sides a couple of times. I'm going to go ahead and finish this off by hand. You kind of might want to experiment and see whether it's easier for you to use the mixer or just do it by hand with a fork. That might depend on how soft your butter was. Mine actually had only been out for maybe 10 minutes or so, so I thought the mixer might be a little easier than trying to do that by hand. And it certainly did soften it up nicely, got it mostly mixed. But I think it's going to be faster if I finish this up by hand till it's all completely smooth and you don't have the butter chunks in there. Maybe I can even do this without getting chocolate on my clothes. We'll have to see. And then once this is all mixed together, I'm going to put it in a plastic bag and cut off 1 corner and squeeze it out using that like a pastry bag. And squeeze it onto a cookie sheet. I did a plate the first time when I was trying it out with half a batch. You can certainly put this on whatever is easiest for you. If you even have a cold enough room, you could probably do it on waxed paper and set it on the table. But it is not going to work for me today in here. I have my crock pot going, and so it is nice and warm in my kitchen, and my butter mints would be very melty if I left them out. So that's pretty good. I'm not too concerned about a couple little butter streaks there as long as it's mostly mixed and even. And when I experimented with this the first time, I made the mistake of not cutting the hole big enough in the corner of the plastic bag. You really want to cut off a good sized corner like that, because you want these to turn out to be bite size, because you don't want to have a 2-bite candy that you have to hold and have the butter melting all over your hands while you're eating the first bite. But you do want it to be a good sized bite. very satisfying piece of candy when you pop that bite into your mouth. This is a little bit messy, but I will do my best here to contain the chaos inside of this plastic bag. And if you have a cake decorating bag or something, that can work well too. I couldn't actually find my equipment. I have stuff like that, but nothing that seemed quite like it was going to work today. I even thought about putting these in molds, but I haven't tried that, and I'm not sure how well they would come out. So, I'm just going to kind of squeeze the best I can onto this cookie sheet here, and make those nice bite-sized mints. And of course, everyone's definition of bite size is a little different, so I'll probably have some slightly different sizes here for different people. And I'm not sure this bag is going to hold out for the whole experience. I'm using cheap Aldi bags, and they do tend to split a little bit under pressure. Actually, I may end up mostly spoon shaping. These are not particularly pretty mints. You definitely are going to want to use a cake decorating tip or something like that if you're really going for presentation. What I'm going for here is more flavor and a snack that has a good, healthy, satisfying fat in it. Now, I really enjoyed these butter mints the first time I made them. I am a metabolic type that definitely needs a lot of fat and protein in my diet, and so these were perfect for me. My husband is more of a carb type, and he said that he liked them, though there was just a little too much straight butter flavor for him to really love them, but he did like them, and he liked the fact that they were an easy snack in the fridge when he wanted just a little something sweet. So they were definitely a hit with both of us. Alright, so there's all of the butter mints. Somewhat messy looking, but I mostly managed to contain the chocolate, so it's only on my hands, not on my clothes. I will be impressed if you also manage to do the same. It was kind of a 1 out of 10 experience for me, not getting chocolate on my clothes. And I'm going to go ahead and pop these in the freezer so that they firm up a little faster. You can see I kind of ended up with different sizes. Some of these are a little bigger than what I would call bite size, but I think I have enough people to share them with that different ideas of bite size will be acceptable. And these definitely do need to be stored in the fridge for long term. But as I said, I'm going to go ahead and freeze them first for quicker firming. And these are chocolate butter mints, and they are amazing. I really hope you enjoy them. Happy Valentine's Day.